Chapter 2 When Deaths Align. Later that evening. Hey guys, welcome back to Detective D, The Silk Rose Murders. In the last episode we finished chapter 1 of this game. And well, we didn't really solve the crime, we haven't pinned the murderer yet. But we came across some clues. And unfortunately there has been another murder which we are going to investigate in this episode. So without further ado, let's just get going and see what episode 2 has in stock for us. So for example, there is Lieutenant Ma here, which we already know and love.
Magistrate D, I'm so glad to see you. As you've no doubt heard by now, it's happened again. Sometime between 2 and 3 hours ago, the lady of this house was brutally murdered while she was reading in the study.
Go on.
It's a horrible mess, just like what happened to Julin Fei. It took me a moment just to gather myself after I saw the body. It was like a flashback, except it wasn't. These two women, they've been murdered in the exact same way.
What else have you found out?
This place belongs to Lam Heifang. The victim was his wife, a young woman named Shi Wenyan. Apparently, they've been married less than a month. The Lambs employ an elderly house steward and 2 servants, but all 3 live on a small adjacent residence south of the main compound. As far as we know, the 3 of them had completed their task for the day and had returned to their residence when the murder took place. The front gate has a rather flimsy lock which our killer seems to have picked without difficulty. Coroner Yao is in there examining the body now. He can tell you more about the crime scene.
Did you speak to the husband?
Only briefly. He seemed quite shaken, but he seems to have a solid alibi. He's in the study now, waiting to speak to you.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You stay here and make sure no one goes in or out. Alright, so that is what he has to do. He seems unsettled. We already talked to him though.
My wife is worried for me, but the truth is I can't help to worry about her. I've arranged for her to stay with her parents while this case is still unresolved.
Okay, I totally understand, Lieutenant Ma. Let's have a look at this slot. There's a small opening here. Something's missing though. Perhaps a handle of some kind? I can't just use my hand. I need to find the right lever. Okay, we need a lever. And there's a gap too. That's all. There's a gap in the railing. There's also a matching gap on the other side. It looks like there's a missing walkway that connects this platform to the one across the way. So, do we have anything in the inventory? No, we don't. And we can't check out whatever this is, but this seems like it's going to be a puzzle for us. So, So let's walk across and see what this has in stock for us here. So we will be able to connect these two, So we can go there. This looks awesome, by the way. I would love a connecting bridge or walkway like this in my domain, for sure. Alright, let's go to the house. This is like, okay, this is the husband. This is the crime scene. Seems quite unsettling, to be honest. There's a book on the floor. Okay, I guess we will talk to the husband first. Let's have a look at him first. He was once a rising star among military elites. Why did he choose to give that up? Good question. Let's talk. Excuse me, Lam Heifang? Mr. Lam? Mr. Lam? Yes. I'm Lam Heifang. Are you alright? I'm Magistrate D. Rengier. I am in charge of this inquiry. I apologize for my poor manners. My mind is a jumbled mess. There will be time for grief. For now, you must gather yourself. I only have a few questions. Of course, please proceed. I want to help you in any way I can. I know time is of the essence. Tell me about yourself. Had you asked me that question in any other day, I could have given you an assured response. Son of a great general, I was once a golden boy destined for greatness, or at least that is what I was told. But in my heart of hearts, I knew that life was not for me. I grew up with a sword in hand, but it was a lie. I could never fulfill my father's legacy. There is no dishonor in choosing your own path. Sorry guys, I just have to take a sip. My throat's getting kind of sore, so... I thought so as well. Yet here I stand, faced with utter ruin. My only love viciously taken from me. My life shattered into 1,000 pieces. Perhaps I deserved this fate for my filial betrayals. You must remain resolute. Do you think the memory of your wife deserves to be tarnished by doubt? You are right. Wen Yan gave me the 2 happiest months of my life. I will always cherish that. Tell me more about your wife, Shi Wen Yan. After my father died, I was lost and alone. I had no sense of purpose, no direction. Then I met Wen Yan. She was a beacon of hope. She helped me see a new life, divorced from the military duties that had shackled me for so long. I had no wish to spend the rest of my days in one military barrack after another. I fell in love with Wen Yan, and she became the center of my world. And you married her only a short time later? Yes, we were married a few weeks after we met. I did not want to waste any more time. Wen Yan also had a difficult life. We both wanted to start anew. What do you know about Shi Wen Yan's past? I think she was a bookkeeper for a time. She was an incredibly smart woman, but she struggled to find steady employment. An attractive and strong-minded woman like her is often seen as a threat, but that is what I loved so much about her. That spark, that intelligence. Her curiosity and thirst for knowledge was unquenchable. That's why she spent so much time in this room. She loved to sit and read for hours. Tell me more about your retirement from the Imperial Forces. It was a clear repudiation of my father's wishes. But after his death, I could no longer continue the charade. I grew tired of the political machinations of a perverted military upper class, men like General Zhang, who will abuse their power simply to perpetuate it. I found peace in my new life, something I could never dream of before. What can you tell me about General Zhang? Zhang Chao is more reptile than man, if you ask me. He courted my father's backing on many occasions, hoping to consolidate power in the shadows. But my father resisted until the end. He knew a man like Zhang could not be trusted. Did Zhang attempt to contact you? Yes, more than once. But I had no patience for his odious nature, let alone his deplorable schemes. No, there was nothing for us to talk about. His advances were squarely rejected. As a matter of fact, I had to turn away one of his lackeys just this morning. What was the purpose of the visit? He came to remind me of some kind of special meeting taking place tonight, a gathering of so-called patriots assembled by Zhang himself. Apparently, an invitation was sent to my father before he died, but I had long ago lost interest in such political antics to pay any attention to it. The gathering is tonight? Do you know where your father put the invitation? No, I'm afraid not. Tell me what happened here. I had been out all afternoon. When I came home, the servants had already retired to their private residence. But I knew something was wrong when I saw that the front gate was unlocked. I noticed the light from the room and assumed Wen Yan was reading, as she has the habit of doing on most evenings. But when I stepped inside, there she was, dead, defiled, and drenched in her own blood. Where were you this afternoon? I was at a tea house discussing business with 2 friends. You can speak to them if you wish. I told this to your lieutenant already. Other than those involved, who knew about your meeting at the tea house this afternoon? No one. I was meeting my friends to discuss a small business venture. I see no reason for anyone to take interest in such a routine affair. How often were you having these meetings? 3 times a week. My friends are busy merchants. We do our best to schedule the meeting ahead of time, but I still don't understand why this is relevant. It is precisely because these meetings were routine that they may be of relevance. Think of it. How did the killer know your wife would be alone? You're right. Someone knew my movements. How could I be so careless? Wenyan, what have I done? Did your wife have any enemies, people who would have wanted to harm her? My wife was a gentle and reserved person. She had no enemies. Then perhaps someone hurt her to get to you. I imagine a man in your position makes a few enemies along the way. But I've given all that up. I know my retirement ruffled some feathers, but my decision was met with more ridicule than resentment. Truth be told, most people were happy to see me walk away. It gave them one more vacant position to fight over. Did anyone take special interest in your decision? Now that you mention it, General Zhang did pay me a visit. He wanted me to reconsider. He said a new regime was on the horizon, and that I could play a key role in it. Had I promised him my allegiance, my father's troops would have followed my lead. But I refused him on the spot. I told him to leave and never come back. Do you think Zhang might be responsible for this? My father had warned me about his intimidating tactics. Did I underestimate his depravity? If he is responsible, he will pay with his life. I swear he will. I apologize. I suppose retirement did little to snuff out the fighter in me. Please, find her killer, Magistrate D. We are both in your hands. I noticed a rather odd feature in your water garden. A walkway seems to be missing. Can you tell me why? Oh, that walkway is an old remnant from my father's military heydays. It opens a passage to a secret war room. I haven't used that room since he passed away, so I decided to keep the walkway closed. Perhaps it would be prudent for me to have a look. How is the walkway opened? Father would turn his grave if he knew I let anyone else enter that room. But I suppose life is full of disappointments. Here's the lever that opens the walkway. Lever added to inventory. You'll need to figure out how to open the entrance on your own, though. I've long forgotten the combination. That's all for now. Thank you, Mr. Lamb. Alright, so we already have that lever, huh? A uniquely shaped lever. So we will be able to go for that puzzle already, which is cool. Alright, time to have a look around here. Let's have a look here first. General Lamb has collected a lifetime of knowledge in this room. This bookcase contains books and scrolls about the arts, philosophy, and the game of Weiqi. Aha! Alright, what about this rose? The killer's left behind another rose. It is the Silk Rose murder, still. Another rose. It looks like our killer's a taste for theatrics. But why a rose? Very good question. It looks just like the first one. What about here? This library spans a great deal of subject matters. This bookcase contains books and scrolls about history, politics, and warfare. Alright, so nothing of interest for us in there right now. Just to be sure, guys, because I have missed so much already, just by not being thorough enough. I still want to be thorough. What is this book? There's a book by her side. What is that book, though? It's a book on classical literature. The interior pages have been torn up. There's an inscription. It reads, "To my dearest beloved, may your days be filled with lovely words and even lovelier thoughts. Heifang." Once again, the killer exploited the personal item belonging to the victim's closest relation, in this case, her husband. It's the same method he used to coerce Jules and Fei into surrendering to him. Both young women were unusually brave and selfless. Few could sacrifice themselves that way. Yet my intuition tells me something is amiss. Why did they act so passively in the face of such a threat? It's a book on classical and the interior have been torn. Okay, we had that already. Okay, so we got our first clue. Deduced that Shi Wenyan's book, a gift from her husband, was used to coerce her. Alright, so... We could have a look, but I think talking to Coroner Yao might be the way to go. Despite his grumpy demeanor, he performs his duties with care and courage. Alright, so let's talk then.
There you are. I was wondering when you would join us. I hope you've had ample time to digest your last meal. I had to send Lieutenant Ma outside when his face started to turn pale.
Thank you, Coroner Yao. I think I will manage.
Good. It's not every day one sees this kind of brutality. This poor girl has been eviscerated and left exposed. As soon as we're done here, I'll have some constable take her back to the morgue.
Of course. Let's make sure she's transported with care. Is a preliminary report ready?
Yes, I've finished my initial examination. This girl might be dead, but she still has a lot to tell us.
What can you tell me about the victim?
She was in her early 20s, 24 according to her husband. Her sturdy build suggests an active and healthy lifestyle.
Yes, she does seem particularly fit and strong.
Yes, just like Julien Fei. In fact, the similarities between them struck me immediately. They share a remarkable combination of beauty and strength. If the same man is responsible for these two killings, I'd say he's choosing his targets rather deliberately.
Okay, that's interesting actually. What can you tell me about the cause of death?
All signs point to asphyxia. The killer most likely stood behind her and strangled her with some kind of rope or cloth. But alas, no signs of a struggle or the murder weapon. She was then cut open, posthumously to facilitate the removal of her heart. I'd say she died no more than 3 hours ago.
Are there any clues in the bloodstain patterns?
I'm glad you asked. The blood patterns themselves offer no revelations, but they do suggest that our killer might be becoming more efficient.
How so?
Take a closer look. The large laceration in her chest has made her bleed profusely, which is to be expected, but unlike last time, the killer's left no bloody footprint behind. Lieutenant Ma won't get to practice his doodling skills this time.
So our killer is honing his skills?
Precisely. He must have used rags to manage the initial blood loss. Most of the blood you see here was likely discharged after he left the scene.
Thank you, Coroner Yao. I'll leave her under your care. Okay, time to have a look at Xin Wenyan. Lieutenant Ma was right. Her wounds match those found on Julien Fei. Okay, so we can't actually... I thought maybe we could have a look here. But it doesn't seem to be the case. I can't see how that would help. Don't think that's a good idea. Oh guys, I'm really sorry. I'm living near a fire station. Maybe you're hearing some sirens right now. That is because I do live near a fire station and there are people getting rescued right now. Isn't that great? Okay, the lever. Okay. What happens if we show him his book? I found this book in your wife's side. What can you tell me about it?
I gave her this book as a present soon after we first met. I thought she'd enjoy it as she had an obsession with classical literature. She often lamented the fact that as a young girl she wasn't permitted proper education. It was only through perseverance that she taught herself how to read or write. She loved this book. Why would someone want to tear it up? It appears the killer knew enough about you and your wife to know what this book meant to both of you.
Interesting. Can you tell me something about the rose? No, I don't think that's a good idea, huh? So there is nothing that we can actually do here, huh? The game of Weiqi. Okay, but we do have the lever. Wait a second. Do we have something new here? No, we don't. Okay, if that is the case, let's leave towards the garden. Oh, there is still stuff to do? No, I shouldn't leave until I've examined the crime scene and inspected all the evidence, but we did. Left bookcase. Wounds match those on Julien Fei. Great deal of subject matters. Contains blah blah blah, but we had that already, so what am I missing then? I am still missing something. Haven't we checked all of what we can? Uniquely shaped lever? Okay, what am I missing? Maybe the bloodstain? There must be something that I'm missing, but aha, okay, there's a rug fold. Okay, let's have a look here. There's a noticeable fold on this otherwise perfectly placed rug. Aha, there's a note there. It looks like a note. Then let's take it. Another one of the killer's notes? Why is he leaving a trail for us to follow? Is this some kind of game to him? What does it say though? To whose who obey, let prey be mine. I have no sway, but death shall align. Death shall align? How many are in his sights? Another pair of strange symbols. Still no hint as to what they mean. Can we leave now? Yes, we can. Okay, since we can leave, we still have some time left, right? Yes, we have. So I guess it's time to use the lever in this slot. Perfect fit. Let's see what this lever does. Oh, okay. That is some machination there. Okay. I'll take it though. Okay, so what are we supposed to do here? It's a Weiqi table, huh? It's a stone table for playing Weiqi. It's customary for scholars to learn the intricacies of this board game from a young age, but I have to admit I'm a bit rusty. So we can play already, huh? I can place stones in these intersections. It looks like some kind of stone key. Stone key added to inventory. Okay. Only this will fit in this slot. I can place stones on these intersections. Okay, there is no way we can solve this. Right now, at least. Let's have a look here. Eternal ladder. This must be a clue to finding the right combination for the Weiqi board. Eternal ladder. Okay, so we have that. So we can put that back. Or maybe we're supposed to take it? Okay. So we will have to return. That's gonna... No, wait. Can we... Yes, we can. Alright, so we can have a little... kind of a little shortcut. It's not really a shortcut, but makes things a little easier. So there was a book here on Weiqi. Right? It looks like promising a scroll entitled Weiqi, Basic Positions and Tactics. Aha. Oops. Let's have a look here. Ladder breaker, net trap, rule of eternity, building forts, Weiqi basic positions and tactics. All these positions, which ones are correct? So it's the ladder breaker, right? Wasn't it? Let's have a look. Eternal ladder. Okay. What happens if we try to combine these? These items don't fit. This says eternal ladder though. And this... rule of eternity. So we will have to... oh, which one is correct? It says eternal ladder. So it has to be this one plus this one? But they won't work. How is that supposed to work? Because we are supposed... Because if we lay these stones, then we won't have space for these. Although, no, it doesn't work like that. There are two black stones here. Okay, that is a bit of a thinker here. Will it work if we just put the thing on here? Let's go. Come on. Be a little quicker. D, come on. A little quicker. Alright, so if we do this, can we just use... On second thought, that probably won't work, huh? So we can keep having a look here. But that won't actually do us that much good. But guys, I'm really sorry. We'll have to quit here because we have hit the end of the episode mark. If you want to know if I can figure out this puzzle, you'll have to tune in next time for Detective D, the Silk Rose Murders. See you then.